folks, how goes it? It's going good on my end. I don't know about you guys. So, figured I'd do sort of a little video midweek, which I guess I've been doing a lot of my reviews on the weekends. Just find it's a little bit easier and I have more time to focus. So something I haven't done in quite some time has been showing off collection per se. But I already did that in a three huge videos. I probably shouldn't have done that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically I kind of snagged this idea from a brief conversation I had with one of the guys at work, and it was like desert island kind of things. Like what records would you have for your desert island? And this is not going to be in any specific order. It's just ones that I have in my collection now. Of course, there are others that I would love to have with me, but I don't have them in my collection. So, what's the point of showing them here, talking about them? Maybe I'll do like an honorable mention at the end. Anywho, without further ado, first one I would have to have with me. This specific one. This is Judas Priest, Defenders of the Faith. Now, this is the recent sort of box set, sort of 3 CDs, kind of deal. So this here, essentially, this is the actual, so it's got the record itself, which is a remastered version. And then, of course, you have the double live, and it's recorded during the Long Beach Arena show that they did on the Defenders of the Faith tour. So this is quite the little gatefold. Okay, so you get all the tracks there. You get little kitty cat there. Or as Razor Fist in his video did called that basically Spark Mandro, but this is more pissed off. And of course, we flip this around. There's your 3 CDs, and of course a picture of Glenn and KK and Rob mid-form. Now, this without a doubt, while I do love Firepower and other records like Painkiller and so on, this one here just speaks to me the most. Literally, there's only 3 tracks on here that I don't like, and of course, it's basically the last 3 tracks because the last 3 tracks are really not that good. They're literally filler of filler. I mean, they probably could have just made this like a 7-track EP, and it would have kicked ass still. So that's the first one I've got here, Defenders of the Faith by Judas Priest. Now, I've got 3 more CDs, and the rest is all vinyl. We have probably one record that no matter what, anytime I put it on, it literally just destroys me. I have mentioned having to buy the second one through Amazon when I should have had it bought on day one. That was the second record, Reluctant Hero, by this band, Killer Be Killed. From the instant second I heard of the very first track, Wings of Feather and Wax, and hearing Greg Puciato, Troy Sanders, and Max Cavalera all singing on the songs, it was like, okay, this has to be bought. Without a doubt, the first 7 tracks are absolute fire, and the rest of them are good too. But the rest of them, I kind of have to be in a mood to hear it. But in most cases, and on most days of when I go and I listen to this, I do listen to the whole record straight through. No song skipping or anything. And then if I want to listen to it again, I'll kind of skip around and check it out. But this one here, for a debut record, this came out in 2014 through Nuclear. It's just unbelievable from head to fucking toe. It's got heavy riffs, killer groove, screams, melodic vocals. Everything is almost perfect. Now, from the Thrash Kings themselves, if you ask my wholehearted opinion, and I'm sure if Eldon watches this video, he'll also confirm such a statement. This was the very first CD by these guys I bought. And I believe I have Enemy of God somewhere too on CD. And since you now know that I mentioned that, its creator, Phantom Antichrist, from the opening riffs of the title track, my head was instantly blown the fuck off. The entire record, right from the get-go, is just a monster. So, as you guys probably noticed, this is the digipack. This gives you the record itself, and this also gives you the making of the bonus DVD. Let me spin that around real quick. So there you go. You have the bonus DVD, which has the making of, and of course also the CD booklet with the lyrics. Some really great artwork. Like this is a killer album cover. Absolutely killer. And the thing is, it's not even the album cover. That's just like the inner thing. This is a killer album cover. I did pick up Gods of Violence 2 as well. I'm going to be getting the new record whenever it comes out. That's going to be killer. And probably one of my new favorite is 666 Divided. It's an unbelievable track. Absolutely love it. And so this next one, you guys, this is probably going to come to surprise of absolutely no one. I've had this in the car since it came out. It's not going to go out of the car. Sorry guys, been a long day. But I'm going to kind of break a rule that a lot of people do. Like they'll just pick one record by an artist. I'm picking the entire discography by the boys, by AC/DC, Akadeka, whatever you want to call them. I can't pick one. I literally cannot just pick one. It's extremely difficult, being as massive of a fan as I am. I would certainly hope that, within the confines of the stereo I would take with me, or the setup, I'd like to be able to play my cassettes. I've got For Those About to Rock up there too. For Those About to Rock, that cassette's actually been with me the longest. I think that's been with me since, oh man, wow, I think that's been with me I've had that cassette for 17 years. Probably the longest. That and my Let There Be Rock vinyl too, which I think that's been around. I've had that 20 years. So yeah, no, without a doubt, the whole discography comes. I know that's kind of, people will be like, "Oh, yeah, that's cheating." Well, no, it's not cheating. It's my desert island. I don't care. So that's that. For anybody out there who watches these videos and are like, "Well, you pick one." No, I can't pick one. I could pick Power Age, but then I'm also missing Highway to Hell, which I love. Fly on the Wall, which is an amazing record. Flick the Switch, which is probably one of my top records. Stiff Upper Lips got some bangers on it. Just the entire discography, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the ones that I absolutely have to have with me at all times. And it's currently on my Apple Music, so yeah, too bad. Moving on to vinyl. This bad boy. Yes, the Paul Di'Anno years. And a lot of people don't like Paul Di'Anno. I happen to love Paul Di'Anno. Now, Paul's a bit of a mouthpiece. Let's not kid ourselves here. But this record, and a lot of people would choose Killers. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, I might even pull rank and pull the whole discography for them. And actually, no, I'll pull probably up until, and no, there's probably be about 3 or 4 I would probably take. But yes, debut record from Iron Maiden. This was an absolute firepower of a record. Just every track on here. The only one that never really caught on with me the most was Strange World, and that's not a bad thing. But the rest is just perfection as far as I'm concerned. Some of the best, if you ask me, if you want my honest opinion. So I'm just kind of moving some stuff around here. So that was the 5th one. Now we're going to get into the 6th. A record that for a lot of you who know me, this should not come as a shock at all. To be absolutely honest, this is just... I had another record in mind, but this one beats it out simply because of how many times I've pounded it into my head. It's just amazing. That's Slayer, Hell Awaits. Somehow, in the midst of owning the CD, it magically got lost, as you do, I guess. So, I've owned this several times. What I need to do is I need to find it on cassette, and I need to find it on not find it, because you could pretty much get it anywhere on CD, but to get it on cassette, that's probably another story, I'm presuming. But yeah, no, Hell Awaits. Just a banger of a Slayer record from front to back. Title track, Kill Again, At Dawn They Sleep, Praise of Death, Necrophiliac, Crypts of Eternity, and Hardening of the Arteries. Look at the boys in the finest. Look at them just right in the midst of just shredding like bastards. Love it. Next one. So this is also not a shock, but I think for any metalhead, if you had to have one record, this would probably be it, I presume, to have, on your desert island. And that's this. It's the very first Sabbath record. And I think probably every time I decide to listen to my records, I think this will be it. Right off the bat, first record. The Black Sabbath, just to kind of put me in that mood of okay, I'm going to take a heavy metal journey, add some rock and roll, and it's going to be amazing. Yeah, beautiful gatefold with the old style logo, and then of course with the inverted cross. Now, it states, still falls the rain, the veil of darkness shroud the blackened trees, which contorted by some unseen leaves, or by unseen violence, shed their tired leaves and bend their bows towards a great earth of severed bird wings. Among the grasses, poppies bleed before gesticulating death, and young rabbits born dead in traps stand motionless as through guarding the silence that surrounds and threatens to engulf all those who would listen. Mute birds, tired of repeating yesterday's terror, huddled together in the recesses of the dark corners, heads turned from the dead black swan that floats upturned in a small pool in the hollow. There emerges from this pool a faint sensual mist that traces its way upwards to caress the chipped feet of the headless martyr's statue. I can't read. I'm lucky if I can focus, let alone anything else here. Whose only achievement was to die soon, and who couldn't wait to lose. The cataract of darkness formed fully. The long black night begins. Yet still by the lake, a young girl waits. Unseen, she believes herself unseen. She smiles faintly at the distant tolling bell and still falling rain. Just fucking superb. Look at that. Look at that cover. Like this here still exists. And so does she. Like, look at that. How fucking ominous is that when you like hold this in your hand while the intro to Black Sabbath is playing in the rain and all that. Like, come on. Just a stunner. Now I'm just gonna kind of take a couple of these and put them back here. Now, another record, and I've shown this before, and I actually did a review on this, but simply because, a lot of people would say, how come you threw a local band in here to you? Well, it's really easy, because when they're that good, and you really do have to change it up a little bit from the doom and gloom of Sabbath, thrash of Slayer, Creator, a band, or after this one, you know, you get some rock and roll, some old, you know, old school new wave of British heavy metal, and some new American metal. You got to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to go with punk rockers. Which is which? I've shown this record before. I've talked about it at length. I don't feel I have to go through it again. If you haven't actually listened to it yet, I suggest you go check this out. I really think you should. If you are a fan of punk rock, or if you're a fan of amazing females that are in bands and just kick ass, this is the fucking band to do it. Like, legitimately, this is a legendary band as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, which is which? It's killer. Now, these last two records are going to be a massive, massive influence on me vocally over the next little bit. Now, I'm going to have a couple other influences on me vocally for my new band, but that's for a different side. And without a doubt, the vocal that I do is more suited towards what these guys do on a record. So, first one is Exodus, Blood In, Blood Out. Now, I love Exodus as a whole. Okay? There's not a record that they put out that's bad. Well, there was Force of Habit. Well, we won't talk about Force of Habit, will we? With Blood In, Blood Out, this features the return of Steve Setro-Souza. I hated this record at the start because of the fact that I was a Rob Dukes fan. And a lot of you who know me know that that's my Exodus story. I was a Dukes fan. Paul Bailoff slowly is getting to me a little bit. But Steve Setro-Souza, by far, is kind of almost overtaking Rob, especially on this record. Zetro sounds like Bon Scott if Bon Scott was pissed off all the time. Literally. I mean, some of the best tracks on here: title track Blood In, Blood Out, Collateral Damage, Salt the Wound, and pretty much the one track that I think that I actually think could actually be a contender for my all-time favorite thrash song is Body Harvest. You can actually go on to YouTube, type in Tom Hunting, and when you search it out, it's like it should be like the second or third thing where it looks like he's in the studio playing his drums. Go listen to that. All it is it's for Yamaha, because he's a Yamaha drummer, and Jack Gibson's with him, and Jack is a Yamaha bass user. Just listen to that for 4 minutes. That literally is one of my... It's slowly becoming my all-time favorite bass and drum tone. No fucking lie. This is just a phenomenal record. An excellent album cover. I cannot wait for Persona Non Grata. And look at this. What a fucking gatefold. The boys in all of their glory. Of course you get Jack, the man himself, fucking literally pretty much the devil in Gary Holt. Steve's Zetro-Souza, and you got Lee Altus, who actually he's the main man behind Body Harvest. So what does that tell you? He needs to be doing this more. And the most underrated thrash drummer of all time. Him and Venter, oh man, Venter's from Creator. This gatefold is just a fucking stunner. Everything about this record is just probably by far the most beastly thing I've ever heard. And the one thing I'll say about the production on this, this was done, so the drums were done by Andy Sneap, as a lot of you guys know. Andy is literally the drum king. And the rest of it was actually done by Jack Gibson, who Jack became super good at Pro Tools. And he did a lot of the production, and that is some excellent production. He actually did it at they did it at friggin' Tom's Goat Ranch. It's like a whole shit ton of goats. So Gary says there's a bunch of satanic four-horned ones. I don't know. I didn't see any in the making of. Because there's actually, I've got that on, and now I do have that on CD as well. And the CD comes with a making of DVD, and that's hilarious. You need to watch that too. Now, last but not least, this is a record that I posted about the other day on Facebook. I didn't realize I wanted it until I heard it the first time. And I'm like, I have to have this on vinyl because I've never actually, up until a certain point, I actually hadn't physically seen it in vinyl at all. I get the CD for my birthday last year. It's like kind of like a late thing. But when I saw this in August, or no, yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 birthdays ago. I think it was my 37th. And then when I found, when the missus saw this at Taz Records, I ripped it out, and there was a guy coming towards the At the Gate stuff, and I was just like, I literally clutched onto it, like, At the Gates, Slaughter of the Soul. What, just, the cover, the color, it's just, it's bright, but it's gloomy at the same time. I mean, if you've heard this record, you know exactly what it contains. You know, Blinded by Fear, Slaughter of the Soul, Cold, Under the Serpent Sun, Into the Dead Sky, Suicide Nation, World of Lies, Unto Others, Nausea and Need, The Flames End. And then the lead main piece to Blinded by Fear, which is We Are Blind to the Worlds Within Us, Waiting to Be Born. Oh, such a fucking stunner. And this was actually the first record I actually played. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my Desert Island records. I mean, this literally would be one of the heaviest. I mean, you should even be going with all death metal or black and death or whatever. And not that there's anything wrong with that, because there really isn't anything wrong with that. I just, that's a nice eclectic mix. Some happiness with the AC/DC, the Killer Be Killed, the Priest, and then you got the thrash with the Creator, the Exodus, the Slayer, all that jazz. I mean, all of this stuff here is pretty fucking killer. So, yeah, I would say if you guys get the chance, this is up to you. A lot of the guys in the VC, this is really up to you guys. If you guys want to join in, feel free. Absolutely. If you don't want to, that's fine also. Check it out, man. Let me know what you think. Hit me in the comments below. I think it'd be cool. For honorable mentions, though, there's not too many. Honestly, there's really not too many that I would like to have. There's only a couple, and I think probably, one that I would absolutely must have as a Desert Island record is Entombed Left Hand Path. I need to get that on cassette, vinyl, and CD. I think that would be that would pretty much almost end. Well, that and Tomb of the Mutilated by Cannibal Corpse and Kill on vinyl as well. Yeah, so Tomb and Kill would be sweet. Actually, I'm actually going to start looking into getting all the Cannibal records and just having them, because I'm kind of kicking back into Cannibal. I think this might actually be fun to have too, because I dig the shit out of these guys. Would be Suffocation. That'd be good to have. Some good old school brutal death metal. There's a whole pile. I could have had Judas Priest, Painkiller, and I could have grabbed other Slayer records, and I almost had South of Heaven, but I'm like, nah, Hell Awaits is my thing. I like Rain and Blood, but Rain and Blood's overdone. So yeah, that's that, guys. Thank you ever so very, very much for watching. I really appreciate that. You guys are just the best, and I hope to talk to more of you guys in the VC and that soon. Cheers. Horns up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button. If you're not into hitting the bell, that's fine too. As long as you subscribe, that's all I care about. Thanks, guys. Keep the horns up.